Hey guys,
Hey fam, welcome back to our channel.
Imperfect Fighters. Today we got our good friends here, Felipe and Natalie Mora.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
We are great. We're awesome.
We're so happy to have you on our show. You guys are our first guests.
First guest. Yeah.
All right.
That's amazing. I never expect this, but I'm so excited.
It's good. It's good. You gotta
I'm
do it.
excited and scared at the
We're
same
scared.
time.
No,
Just
don't get
scared. We don't know what is gonna happen in the few
Good
minutes.
things.
All right.
Good things are
Right,
gonna
we're not
happen.
gonna expose too much.
Oh my god.
So we're just gonna jump into questions. Your relationship is very unique.
Why?
On how you guys got together.
Okay.
And so that's what we want to start with. How did you guys get together?
Yeah. How did you guys meet?
Yes.
You wanna
Oh,
start?
that's the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say something. I'm gonna thank Facebook right now
Yes.
for allowing us to re-meet because we met when we were kids. So we
Oh,
grew
nice.
up. My parents were missionaries in Venezuela, and Natalie was a little
Yes.
young girl.
I actually have pictures when we were young. Like I can send it to you so you can put it here.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yes.
Yes.
But I never thought that we were going to be together in the future, you know, because he was too old at that time.
That's so similar. I said the same thing every time we were like, "How did you guys get together?" I was like, "Oh, well, I was his younger sister's friend."
Well, that's exactly what it was. Natalie was closer to my brother.
Yes.
They were friends as kids.
Yes.
But the age difference is only 5 years.
It's only 5 years. That's
Only,
it.
yeah, only 5 years.
That's not bad. We're not robbing the cradle.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Yes, you are.
Except that when you're 15 and she's
That's
10,
exactly.
it looks a
It's
little.
different when
Yeah.
you. That's
It's like it's
So,
When you're in
so
high
just to
school,
make
it's
it
very
clear,
different.
at that time there were no feelings.
No.
It's when she turned 18 that I'm
And
like,
then it was
That's
healthy.
right.
Yeah, I actually was scared of him because he used to be in a rock
Metal
band,
band.
metal band, and
Uh-huh.
he used to play like crazy music.
Christian metal band.
I didn't know what was that because when I couldn't understand, so I didn't understand anything.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it was Christian or was the devil or something.
It was a Christian band.
I've never heard of a Christian metal band.
Yeah, there's several. I can put some for you to also put on the screen. Yes.
That's
There's
funny.
several. You know, it was actually a ministry that I had, and we would go to places that people didn't want to go. I don't know if like you ever seen like hip hop ministries that do that, or
Yeah,
they have to
yeah.
use the music to get in.
To get to
With
some
me, it
places.
was heavy, like crazy screamo metal.
Wow.
Wow.
But it was fun.
Yes, it was awesome.
So fast forward,
Yeah.
I moved to the US when I was 15, disconnected. My parents got called back to their previous church where they used to pastor, where I met Natalie, to do a missions conference. This is like many years later when we're already in the US. And my mom comes back and she goes, "Hey, I saw Natalie leading worship and you know she looked cute." Let's just say that's
It's cute.
So that's when Facebook was booming, and I'm like, you know what, Natalie, let me see what happened. And then I was very impressed, and
Thank you.
I proceeded to comment on some pictures.
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
Slide on
Remember
it.
me?
Slide into the DMs.
But then I went straight to the dad. I'm
Oh.
like, you know what? My dad was his pastor. I can pull that card. So hey, remember me? Pastor Camilla's son, and you know.
And my dad told me like, what is happening with this guy, with
Yeah.
this boy? It's like, is he looking for you or is he like trying to chat with you? I'm like, no, dad, nothing. And he was
But
But
like,
he had a plan.
Oh,
We
people
talked
the
for
whole
6
time.
months, almost every night on
Yes.
Skype. So we started building, and then after 6 months, she's like, "No, I'm not interested." I'm like, "You kidding me?" So I was supposed to go to see her in person
I
after
know.
all these years,
I know.
and I said, "I'm not gonna go." And then she begged me to
No,
go.
I felt bad because he bought the tickets and everything.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
But I just
So you
wanted
were
to-
going to see her?
And I had intentions, of course, after 6 months of talking.
Okay, let me clarify everything.
Because
So the thing is that we planned to go to a conference, a Christian conference, in the town that I born.
Mhm.
So that was the main reason, because you wanted to connect with everyone that used to go to the church that your dad built.
That wasn't my reason.
That was
He had different intentions.
Yeah. So I told him before he came, before he went to Venezuela, that like I didn't feel anything for him. I didn't have any intentions. Like we
After,
were friends.
hold on. So you guys are talking for 6 months.
Yeah, but just
And
like
you just-
friends.
Oh my God!
Nah.
In your head, it was
Yeah.
friends, but in
Six
his, he's just like, she loves me.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna turn red right now.
She knows. She always
Alright,
tells the
no,
story,
no.
but there had to be feelings now. You can't.
Well, but I didn't have any intention.
Okay.
Yeah, she was only 18.
Okay.
Yes,
That
I was a
explains.
girl.
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah. And
but you got there.
I got there. Yes, I
Okay.
made it. Then to fast forward a little bit, during that trip, I knew what I wanted. So I told her, look,
Sure.
these are my intentions.
That's
and
right.
She said no. And then I was in the middle of nowhere with her family at her grandma's house, and I still had to see her for like another week.
I know.
And I'm like, she said, no, I feel so awkward. I want to leave. I didn't
Right.
want to be there. Then I prayed. I talked to her pastor at the time, who was my youth pastor growing up. And he told me, give it one more try. You don't know this. But he encouraged me, and then
wow.
I went one more time. We had already gone to another city. Everything was awkward. And I'm like, this is worthless trip. And
Yeah.
I was in that mindset already. And then I asked her to just, let's
Give it a
try it.
chance.
Give it a chance.
Look at you guys now.
And it worked.
So I remember you guys saying something when you wanted to get married, wanted to make that step. Where were you at that time?
In Brazil.
We were in Brazil.
Yeah,
Yes.
So you guys were apart from each other.
Yes, we had a 3-year relationship.
Long
like,
distance.
long
I lived
distance
here and she lived in
relationship.
Venezuela.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we kind of want to get
Okay,
in
okay,
Yeah,
on.
how did that?
Okay.
How
I'll-
like? What did you guys do? Like, how did you
So
prioritize?
we the most time that we had without seeing each other was 6 months.
Yeah.
So we call each other every night because I had class. I was in college and he also was working.
I gave her a magic jack, if you remember those things.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
Magic Jack.
Yes,
Yes,
Wow.
because my internet was the worst.
Yeah.
I didn't have cell phone at that time because in Venezuela everything is like very dangerous. So if you have a phone, somebody can just take it and you're gonna be without phone. So I decided not to have cell phone. So he called me on my computer or in my home phone. I don't
Okay.
know how to. It's like
Yeah,
at
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we had that relationship. Yeah.
We talked every night.
Was it hard? Like,
It was hard. It was definitely hard because I didn't live at that time with my parents. I lived in the capital of Venezuela, which is like 9 hours of distance from my parents' house and in car. So I lived by myself at that time, and Felipe was also far from me. So it was very, at least for myself, it was very difficult to have a distance relationship. Also, my parents were very far away from me, and the only thing that I could feel him closer to me was like when he was calling me or texting me or even like sending me Facebook messages like, hey, how are you doing? How you feel? And yeah.
so what about for you on your side? Was it difficult, or was it kind of like, I know what I want? This is-
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it happen
So
regardless.
I had a deal with God, which was whenever I had my first girlfriend, it was gonna be my wife. So my parents had these very like strict rules for me, which was you cannot date anybody until you're not 18 or in college. So my thing was whenever I went out with a girl, my mindset was already I'm looking for my wife. If things made it to a relationship, then I knew I found my wife. If they didn't, and it was always hurtful, it was always the worst thing that could happen, but God made it clear for me. So when I knew that she said yes and we're already in a relationship, I knew I had found my wife, so I was gonna fight for that.
And we had so many breaks, like breakouts, that's how you say it?
It was like one day.
Timeouts.
Yeah,
Timeouts,
timeouts.
yeah.
Like,
We were on a break.
We were on a break. We were on a break. We were on a break.
we're ending all this. I can't deal with this anymore because it's difficult. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what helped is that I already had a full-time job, so at that time, prices to go see her,
It was
crazy. Like I was paying like the cheapest $1,200,
Yes.
Wow.
and like I had to save up so much to
Yes.
to
You
like.
don't love me enough. You don't love me
His
enough.
parents were like, Natalie, you need to understand that he cannot pay for these tickets
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
like, what can I
But
do?
then I played it off like there were trips that I arranged for people to bring me to do like clinics or to I worked so that my band would go
Yeah.
play there or something, so I didn't have to pay. And then a few months later, I'm like, this one I'll cover out of pocket.
Yeah.
So God was good. He really made, created
Good
up.
Lord.
Man, if that's not
Couldn't
love,
even drive
my
45
goodness.
minutes.
I know.
Exactly. First of all, we can talk about that. There was a point where we were dating. I was right there, and you guys are from New York, but in Haverstraw, that's maybe 20 minutes max, and he would complain so much. Oh my God, this drive is dreadful. I feel like I'm gonna die every time I'm driving. I'm like,
So dramatic.
20 minutes. He was traveling across the world.
I think you picked the wrong couple for today.
Gosh.
You did. You did.
Yes.
You got
We
some
did.
making up to
We
do.
did. We did. So we want to hone in on there are people that are in relationships or they're
Long distance.
relationships
Yes.
or about to go into that
Yeah.
and they are kind of afraid. What kind of things would you say, especially with you guys for 3 years
Yeah.
have stuck it
What
through?
helped you? Like,
Yeah. What do you
besides
say?
praying and keeping in contact constantly, what else?
I think for me, it was a determination. Like I knew I wanted to get married to this girl, and I was already 21. Yeah, I've always had my mindset. I
So
want to
pretty
get
much for
married.
you, it
early.
was just a choice. This
It was-
is
yeah.
the choice that I'm making, and that's what I'm sticking to.
And since like this show is all about being like
Open and
that's right,
honest.
that's right.
Yes.
like I think in certain areas, especially when girls are young, it can be a little bit more dramatic. And I remember Natalie like calling me sometimes and being like, "I'm done. This is not gonna happen." I'm like, "We're already like engaged. Like, this is so it made me play an even bigger dramatic card. I remember I used to make the biggest drama on the phone. Back.
What kind of drama?
Yeah, because you say that and then I'll like pretend like my world was gonna like. No, but yes, it was one of those. But I think like emotionally, that's the only thing you have. So in a way, I think nowadays like people promote, oh, you gotta be physical, you gotta be there, you gotta. And in our case, we didn't have that, but we talked a lot. That's all we could do. So I think it helped. It helped us develop better communication. And later on, of course, the other part hurts. You're not together all the time, so you're kind of getting used to each other. But I think that just having communication and taking advantage of technology was a big thing for us.
Yeah, and also like there was one day that I realized that Felipe was the man that God had for me because I am sometimes a very explosive person. Patrick can see.
Yes.
And
Praise the Lord.
sometimes I lose my patience like this. And there was one day that I lost my patience and I was telling Felipe like, leave me alone. I don't want to be with you anymore. Like I was in church. Remember there was a service.
And I did nothing.
He
I had
didn't,
done nothing.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. And I was like, leave me alone. Like I want to sit by myself. And he was like quiet and he said next to me. Like and
I just want to shake your hand.
I still do that
I
sometimes.
just want to shake your hand.
Hey,
and that for
My
me.
goodness.
I'm not a good husband. Golly. Matter of fact, let's cut because Felipe is embarrassing me in the streets.
It's okay. No.
Hey.
And that for me was like I just realized at that time like this man is gonna just keep me anchored, like when my patient is just in the sky and,
Yeah.
He
and
balances you.
he balanced me, he gives me contrast, he's just my complement. So that's when I realized that I need to fight for this. I need to be patient. I need to give away my emotions, my love, like freely, and not be afraid of we're gonna finish because he may find another girl over there, or he may be I don't know, with other desires of it here in the United States while I was in another country.
So it took a lot of security from you to be able to. So
Definitely.
sometimes that probably was playing in your mind.
Yes.
That's why you might have thought it was for no reason.
Yes.
But she was probably thinking, he's probably over there
I
talking to
know.
somebody. And then she calls you and then you're like, what just happened? But she already had a whole conversation with you in
Yeah.
her
Entire
That's right.
story in my mind, like a telenovela. You
And
know?
I think the scene that I was in, I was with a band that we were traveling a lot. So you're just going from place to place. You're meeting people every night. But those are the things that I didn't want. I always said, I'm not gonna find my wife here. I'm gonna find it somewhere else. Like I almost wanted to go back home, which Venezuela was home for me.
Yeah.
To find someone that knew me for who I was and not for what I was doing. So that was something that attracted me of Natalie right away. Like she didn't care at all what I did.
I never
Nothing.
saw him
She
playing.
was scared of you.
No, this is post metal.
Wait.
This is post metal phase.
Wait, you say you never saw him playing?
Performing, no, never.
No?
Until I came here for my first time, and I think that I saw you in
Into a
Salida
concert.
Siete concert.
And then it was this. That's it. No.
Yeah,
Soft,
at
bro.
that time, I think that we were engaged. Yeah.
It was
Oh.
already set. in
Yeah, it
stone.
was
Yeah.
already.
But I mean that's the session.
Yeah, I was so proud, but I didn't admire him because of what he did in the platform. I just admire him for the person who is him in the interior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a quick question.
Yes. Like yes, no
Last one.
questions or
Just question. This is the last one.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you sleep with your closet doors open or closed?
Open.
Open.
What? For real, open. Yes. Sometimes I close it because
Thank
it's
you.
so disorganized, and I feel like
Thank you.
But no, listen to what she said. Say that again. Say that again. Please say it again. You close it. Why?
because it's so disorganized.
And then what do you feel like?
I feel anxious, but there is time that I just leave it open.
I
so-
can't sleep with my closet doors open. And
No?
Patrick, the other night, he was just like, what is wrong with you? What is it about the closet doors? I was like, I feel crazy. It needs to be closed. I just was like, I need to find another couple who
Oh, yeah?
understands me. But clearly,
No,
it's
Philippe,
I don't
yeah,
care.
He really doesn't.
To
care.
me, it's
I'm very the organized person, the one that organizes the entire house. Like,
yeah.
Doesn't,
I watch
it doesn't
this.
bother.
Yes.
I could sleep. It's just
Yeah, it's
sleep.
not-
It's just not gonna mess you up.
yeah, sometimes
can't.
when you spend the entire day just cleaning and organizing the house, and then you see the closet disorganized and you leave it open, it's like, why?
I'm gonna send you guys pictures while you're editing this video. Of the door open every night. Okay?
So we're gonna wrap up, but we want to, for you guys kind of to look into the camera and just to a couple that is at this point right now, and they're dating or they're gonna cross over into marriage, but they're long
long
distance.
distance
Oh, yeah.
relationship.
Just a word of encouragement. What would you say to them?
Do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
This is what I'll say, and not just because it worked for us, it means that it's gonna work for everybody. But when you know what you want, and not only what you want, but when you are asking God for guidance. Like for me, I'm the type of guy that I know that God doesn't speak to me by writing on the walls. I don't get dreams. I don't hear this little voice in my head. But I kind of take the Gideon, that's how you say it in English? I take the Gideon route, which is, here's a test, right? And if you answer me this way, then I'm gonna take it that it is your will, and that's how it happens. So I think for me and for our relationship is that I knew that Natalie was gonna be my wife, and I had to put the work, but it doesn't mean it was easy. So it requires persistence, but I think above all things is having that clarity from God that you're pursuing His path and not your own. So that would be my.
Yes, and I would add to that, like, have a purpose with that relationship. It's not only like talking about my feelings or my emotions. It's like taking books and reading together and invest in that relationship the best way that you can do it, in order to know if that person is gonna be your complement for the rest of your life. And yeah, it's like be patient. I think that the patience for me was a big issue, and waiting for that right time in order to see him, in order to hug him, or in order to spend quality time, you know. So I feel like, for me, do you know that Love is Blind?
Oh yes, that was in my head. I was just like, this is just like Love is Blind.
Yes.
And me and Patrick actually disagreed on that. I was like, I would do that. I would be okay with it. But Patrick's like, no.
Yeah, for us, Love was like, was
Not fully blind.
Not fully blind.
You
saw.
For a long time.
What was that combination?
But you don't see that
No way he was
person.
going after
You don't
it.
see that person like regularly.
as much, yeah.
No, you speak to. Well, at that time, I didn't have a camera, so I didn't see him. It just was his
Here's
voice.
the truth. I
Yes.
saw her, and I like what I saw.
Ah.
Well, she didn't, so she fell in love with you.
Exactly. Yes.
She saw me too.
Like,
But thank you guys so much for coming on our show.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
guys are awesome,
Nice.
and like you guys
This
to
was
follow
fun.
them. This was very fun. We're gonna bring you guys back again to talk
Yes.
about some other.
Now we
more,
can ask you
more,
questions.
more crazy.
That's
things.
right. And you guys ask our questions.
Yeah,
I
you
would
guys
love
can
to ask
do
the
that.
questions, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Follow us on Imperfect Fighters, and follow my friends, Dreamfoot Experience.
Yes.
They have the wonderful app. You
There
see
it
the shirt right there for musicians, some tools for musicians, and like and subscribe.
Yes.
Did I get everything?
You got everything.
And share with your friends.
Yes, share the
There.
videos.
Share with your friends. All right. Peace.
Peace.